I will be dealing with a very unique style of teaching of coding programs where in part 1, line by line explanation of each and every line of program using pointer directly in code. And in part 2, dry run in code itself. No need of traditional type of copy pen needed where we will see how computer does the dry run by itself. And in part 3, revising the whole concept again from part 1 of line by line explanation to part 2 of dry run of code by computer itself, and that too all in single video. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kushag and today's topic is null. So I will be dealing with the 7 programs. Okay, these are the 7 programs I have compiled for you, and after the journey of from program 1 to program 7, you will be very much clear about what is null. Most of the students from the noob to the expert level must have realized about what the actually heck is this null. They must have seen in the lifetime of their coding that what is null actually. They must have been confused sometimes, and they must have been frustrated by the outcome of null pointer exception, because they don't know actually what is null. That's why they are facing problem. So I will be doing like operation and postmortem of this null, and you will be very much clear by the end of this session like what is null. And you can explain in like every way, like in school, in interview, and in your programming career, and you will be very much clear about why the null is coming and what actually null is. So if I will ask most of them like what is null, and most of the answers in interviews are being given like about what is null is a keyword. Most of them used to give the answer is like null is a keyword, because it like feels to be a keyword, it's like seems to be a keyword, but it's actually not. Null is a reserved word for literal values. Okay, just like true and false. Just like true and false, null is also a reserved word for the literal values. So now it has been clear to you that null is not a keyword. It is a reserved word for literal values, just like true and false. Okay. So first of all, let me show you like what is null. Okay. So null is actually case sensitive. What is case sensitive? That the way Java has defined null as a reserved word seems to be null in small, all from null to L. N will be small, U will be small, L will be small, and L will be small. Okay, so it is case sensitive. So this line is correct. Like I have initialized null value to an object with the help of this word null. It's true and legal. Okay, but if I will define null in caps to any object as a value, this is illegal, and Java will not be able to recognize that what the heck is this null in caps, because Java understands null in small. So first thing is null is case sensitive. And let me also show you in the program also that if I will uncomment this line, see, it's showing you the error cannot resolve symbol null in caps, because Java stores null as a null in small. Okay, so first thing has been cleared that null is case sensitive, and what's the actual representation is null in small words. So next is like if any wrapper class or object is not defined, is not initialized, then it will hold the value as null, but not in the case of primitive types. Okay, primitive types will hold the value of their default types, like int will hold the default value of 0, but integer, that's a wrapper class type, will hold null by default. Okay, so this int will hold the value of 0, but this integer as a wrapper class will hold the value of null. This string will hold the value of null. This object will also hold the value of null. These all are not initialized. Okay, this is the group not initialized, and this is also not initialized. Okay, so they have to be stored something like by default. So object, string and integer, these two are wrapper classes, and this is the object class. Okay, they will hold the value null by default. So the default value of object and the wrapper classes will be null, but for the primitive types the value will be the default type of itself only, like in int will be 0, float will be 0.0, etc. Okay, so let me show you also in code. So you can see like object, I have run the program. Object is stored as null, string as null, integer as a wrapper class as null, int primitive as a primitive type equals to 0. Okay, so it will show like this will represent, first line will represent null, second line will represent null, third line will represent null, and fourth line, because this is a primitive type, so it will hold the default value. Okay, so it will show as 0. Next is like null type. Okay, so we can assign the value as null to the wrapper classes. Okay, and we can also like typecast the null. So you can see that string, integer and double, these are wrapper classes. We are initializing null as a value, so this is legal. Okay, we can assign null value to the objects and to the wrapper class also. Okay, so this has been cleared that we can define null as a value. So we can also like typecast the null as a value. So let me run this program and show you line by line like how a null has been initialized to each and every object in class, and how the typecasting has been done for the null. Okay, so first of all we are initializing null to the string str. See, it has been initialized as a null. Second, itr is null, that is integer wrapper class, and db1 double class, double wrapper will also be null. So okay, so this is null, this is integer is also null, double is also null. Okay, and now we are like typecasting this null. So let us typecast this. We can see that my string has been initialized as null. You can also see in below. Okay, you can also see in the below lines that str, itr, dbl has been initialized as null, while typecasted my string has also been initialized as null. Next is my itr will be initialized as null, and my double will also be initialized as null. So you can see like all these values have been initialized as null. These are the initialized one and these are the typecasted one. So we can see that like null can be assigned as a value and null can also be typecasted. So let's run this and we can see that the value of null is printed. Now null, null, null and null. Okay, so next is like auto boxing and unboxing. Null can be initialized to the wrapper class, but it cannot be like unboxed to the primitive type. Okay, null can be initialized to the wrapper class, but this cannot be unboxed to the primitive types. It will show a null pointer exception. Okay, let me show you in the by running the program, and we can see that like it has been initialized as null. Okay, box 1 has been initialized as null, but when we initialize box 1 to the primitive, that is unboxing, it will not be done because it has the value of null it will show you as the null pointer exception. Okay, you can see that it's showing null pointer exception. So the thing has been clear to you, like it can be initialized and to the wrapper on objects, but it cannot be unboxed to the primitive type. Okay, it can be auto boxing, but it cannot be unboxing for the null. Okay, so this is the live example for that. So the next thing is like instance of. So you can see that in this program I have like these are the print statements, and I have used a operator instance of. Okay, so this instance of will produce the value as true if the object of the class that has been created is not null, or the wrapper class has not the value as null. Okay, so if the value is null, it will show us the false, and if the value is not null, it will show us true. Okay, this is the object I have created. This is the wrapper class. Okay, this is the object has been created. Okay, so this object has the value null, this wrapper class has the value as null, this wrapper class has the value as 5, that is not null, and this object of the class has been created and it has not the value as null. So for these two, the instance of operator will return the value as false. You can see below, like for these two, the value of this has been returned as false. Okay, and for these two below, the value of print statement has been printed as true. Okay, so let me run this program, and you will see that these two lines of print statement will true false. So this object has been initialized as null, and this wrapper class is also initialized as null. So instance of will return false if the value has been initialized as null. Okay, so let us run this. See, a equals to null. Okay, the value of a has been initialized as null manually. I has initialized as null. You can see that null instance of operator s equals to null instance. Okay, this has been initialized and it is not as null, and an integer j equals to 5. This is also not null. Okay, so first of all, this statement will print false as the value of a is null. Okay, you can see that it has been printed as false. This I will also print as this statement will also print as null because the value of I is null. Okay, this statement this line will print true because the value of j is not null, and this line will also print true because the value of is not null. Okay, so you can see that the main thing is the instance of operator will return true if the value of object or wrapper class has been initialized as not null. If it is null, then it will print as false. Okay, so now moving to the next is like static and non-static in terms of null. Okay, so you can see that this is the class. Okay, class name, and I have created an object and manually defined the value as null. Okay, and with this object I am calling this method and this method, but you can see that there is a slight difference. This method is static and this is non-static. Okay, so you can so it's a rule in Java that if any object has been initialized as null, it cannot initiate a non-static method, but it can initiate a static method. So this line will run good, but this line will produce a null pointer exception. Okay, so let me show you in terms of coding by traversing through each and every line that where it has produced null. pointer exception. Okay, so you can see that first of all it is in this line, then obj dot static method. This is a static method, so we can call, this is a law in Java, okay, that null object can call a static method. So it has called, okay, and it will print the statement. See, static method can be called by null reference, but when it will traverse back like that, it's like this line has been run, then after this line will run, this line will go to this method, and when it will return back to this line will point to this method. But this is not a static method, this will produce an null pointer exception. So you can see that it has traversed back, okay, it's in this line, and object is null, okay, the object of this was also null, but it has called this method because this method was static. Now, but now it is in this line, and this line will is calling this method, but it will not be able to call that method because it's not static, and it will produce exception. We can see that it will produce exception. See, it's saying that this is not a static method, cannot be called. Okay, so the main thing is the object which has been created as null cannot call a non-static method, but it can call a static method. Okay, simple. So next is like equals and non-equals. We can check null with the help of equals and not equals, but not with the help of this dot equals. Okay, we can check null with the help of equals to and not equals to, but not with equals. Okay, so let me run this program. You can see that like I have initialized null as a value for I for the string type. Okay, like I is equals to null has been initialized. You can see in the computer itself, like in the below line, that I is equals to null. Okay, and then I am checking that I is equals to null. Okay, so this is true. I is not equals to I, this will be false because null is equals to null. Okay, and I is equals to I, this will produce exception, as we are comparing the null, and it will compare as an object. It's like I dot equals I, this line will check as object, but this has not been pointing to anything. Okay, that's why it has been that's why it has produced null pointer exception. That is not pointing to anything. How can I check it to something? It's like pointless. Okay, pointless to test anything that is not pointing to any other thing. Okay, so this line will produce null pointer exception, this will false, and this will true. I hope so the whole concept of null will be clear to you, and if I have been successful making a concept clear for null, so please like, comment and subscribe. Thanks a lot.